The machine is set. We are able to remove the basket, the hatching basket. 10, 12, 13, 14. Out of 300 eggs that we incubated, those are 10 trays. We have been able to achieve.
So, Bwana Ken, which breed is this?
This is but before the customer takes, one thing we caution is that we have to.
As a farmer who does incubation,
Yes.
what is the biggest problem or the issue that you hear with other farmers who do incubation?
The biggest challenge they normally do is that they avoid quality machines and hygiene. Those are the key factors. They're the fueling factor to this project.
Yes.
But if you feel like you want to put all the eggs in the machine, you will get negative results.
How many days should an egg stay for it to be used for incubation?
We always prefer a maximum of.
What about the guys who wash eggs before you?
No.
Put
It's
them
not
in
encouraging eggs.
I've even seen that on TikTok.
I've never bought that idea. Never wash eggs.
Let us now get at the juicy part of every business.
Yes.
Maybe you can take us through the expenditure side of the business a little bit and the profit side.
All right. One thing, the market selling price for one hen or one jogo will go up to 1,500 shillings. There are some which grows even bigger, and you're able to fetch even up to 1,800 shillings. If you're able to do 1,000 of them, that's a complete salary.
Yeah.
Yes, at your comfort zone.
Yeah.
This is the reason why this project is encouraging. It's interesting. It's even fun to do.
Welcome farmers again here at Agribusiness Insider, and today we are in a place called Landes Katundu along the Thika Garissa Road, where we have come to meet a farmer who actually uses incubators, and we want to show you today the whole process of how hatching happens and how to handle chicks post-harvest. We are going to ask the farmer to show us how he does his management of the chicks before now he releases them to the farmers or to the market. Welcome, Bwana Robert.
Thank you very much. Once again, our viewers, we are here from our previous script. We show you a variety of incubators, their capacities. I explained everything on the operations of the incubators. And here we are today around Garissa Highway, one of our clients who purchased these incubators. And by the way, it's good to note this particular client, he started from here. This is a 64 eggs incubator machines, whereby by God's will and through coordination, through partnership with him, he's been able to qualify or to promote from this 64 eggs incubator. And then secondly, he came for 1056. Currently, it doesn't have some eggs because he hatched like a week ago. Then today, we are going to demonstrate from this particular incubator, which now we are going to harvest. We are going to show you, our viewer, how this particular machine go about hatching, about harvesting the chicks and whatever. But before maybe we go to that particular extent, it's good I introduce the client himself to you. Karibu sana, Mr. Ken.
Good evening and good afternoon to all. My name is Ken Kamal. I'm a resident of Landes Katundu and a farmer by profession. I started poultry farming through the support of our supplier, who was able to encourage me to start with a small incubator, which is 64 eggs. And gradually, with time, I was able to purchase another one, which was 528. And from there, we realized that the market is broad, and we were able to migrate from this machine to a bigger one, which is 1056. We've been doing it perfectly because clients have already discovered our quality and the way we handle our chicks from day one, even from the time we incubate the eggs. Because the most important thing about handling chicks is when you start with the first day you put an egg in the incubator. From there, you observe and you maintain the required temperature that you've been advised. And today, we are privileged that we managed to reach day 21, and we are able to come up with the chicks that have already hatched. And we shall demonstrate how we handle them and how we remove. First and foremost, you must make sure that your hands are clean and that you've already fumigated the basket that you're going to use. You must make sure that you have used the right disinfectants recommended, so that the chick, which are so delicate, may not be able to be contaminated from the incubator to the brooder. We shall open it by disinfecting our hands. That's the way to do it, so that the chicks may never be contaminated from germs or any viral diseases that are surrounding. The basket have to be also sprayed with disinfectant, and by opening the door, you need to use the shortest time possible, because some eggs are yet to be hatched. Some chicks might not be dry, and that's when you're supposed to use the shortest time possible to make sure that you are able to remove them on time. These are day-old chicks, freshly hatched, and we shall do it with the shortest time possible, so that the other eggs should not be contaminated with light. I mean, these are the ones which are already coming out. You have to set the machine in such an angle that you'll be able to. As you may see, some of them are already starting hatching. And these are the fresh eggs which have already been added to be hatched at a later date. The machine is set. We are able to remove the basket, the hatching basket, and the other chicks are inside. The only chicks that sometimes you never fail to get mortality, because the squeezing of the chicks are there, but you do it at the fastest rate to remove them from any damages that might occur. These chicks are already dry, ready to be taken to the brooder. As you may see, they are all healthy. All these are all healthy and ready to go to the brooder. We want to take the shortest time possible, so that we may be able to save the life of the others that are yet to be hatched.
And Bwana Ken, yes. I've heard you are saying that we should do it fast so that the others cannot die.
The purpose of doing it fast, so that you may be able to close the door to avoid cold air entering inside that may make the eggs unable to hatch.
Okay.
And that's the reason why we needed to do it very fast. Yeah. As you may see, some of them are already coming out.
Yeah.
They are yet to hatch.
Yeah.
But they only need to come out and be, and we have to retain them inside so that they may dry up. We need to close the door quickly.
Yeah.
So that we may save the life of the others.
Amazing.
That's the position. So far, these are the ready to be taken to the brooder. And the number is encouraging.
Yeah.
As compared to the time you use the old fashion of using hands.
Yeah.
They are not guaranteed.
Yeah.
But with the machine, unless there is power failure, that's when sometimes it gets affected. But you always keep a backup a solar backup or a generator.
So you have a solar?
Yes, we have a solar, and that's why we are already safe when it comes to power circulation of the machine.
Okay.
Yes.
Our viewers, as you can see, this is just part of just few eggs that Bwana Ken had put in the incubator, and as you can see, the results are really encouraging. Now, from here, where we are going to go, where we are heading to the brooder site, whereby we are going to count all these chicks, how many are they, and then maybe Mr. Ken will explain to us now what next from now there. These are just 1 day chicks. This is just but the first lot, and I think as time goes by, in 2 or 3 days to come, he will still observe the same hatching rate. So as I said, our machines are so very much automatic, very well, very high efficiency, very reliable. So right from here to the brooder, to get the total, the exact number of chicks that we have realized today. Now this is where we do the sorting, whereby I can see our chicks are very active, no disability at all. Our chicks are so very active. So from here, as I had said, we proceed to our brooder site.
Now, first thing, this brooder was prepared a day before. We had to disinfect the place completely, and again early in the morning we decided to fumigate the place to make sure that we are certain. One thing is that when the chicks are young, it's not very recommendable to go inside, but with the current situation, we are just going to put them inside and give them approximately an hour to relax before you give anything energizing. The only thing we should be able to give is warm water and some glucose. We prefer using chick start. It's more nutritional to the chicks, and they are able to energize before they be able to know how to feed. Right now, we are just going to take the number of chicks that we have done so that we may be able to know the rate that has been hatched from the number of eggs that we had. Maybe we can be able to start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thirteen, 14, 20, 21, 22, 23, 45, 46, 47, plus 1. So that 47, that is 294 and 295 in number. Out of 300 eggs that we incubated, those are 10 trays, we have been able to achieve 295 chicks, meaning that we are almost getting 100% yield. It's so encouraging to be able to do this. The good thing about the machine that the incubator that you've seen, you are able to put in intervals. You can even be able to do it on 2 weeks, on 1 week, or even few days interval, so that you may be able to have a continuous day-old chicks. The demand of chicks are rising, and beside the local area that we are having, we are able even to move out of Thika town to Muranga, to Juja, even to Ruiru. And it's encouraging to have healthy chicks that have been hatched through that machine, and I would recommend using it over and over again. As I had mentioned, right now we shall not be able to give them anything, not even the water, but we shall warm some water after probably 1 hour, after they have become acquainted to the environment. The water will only be added to the we only be able to add chick start and a little bit of feeds, chick starter crumbs on a tray. Though they might not be able to know how to feed on those ones, but within 24 hours, they will have been able to discover how to feed on themselves. The most important thing is to have the water, probably in the next 1 hour, so that they may be able to drink and remove the stress that they have. It's interesting to know that even chicks have stress. And to energize them, you need to give them the glucose that they need. This is the first stage that we normally have. And until another 24 hours comes, we shall not be able to give them any other different types of drinking. But immediately after 24 hours, when you change the water that they've been drinking, even though they have not finished it, you have to discard it. You are encouraged to put some antibiotics. You're also encouraged to use liquid paraffin because of the feeds that they use to soften the stool that they go. You are also encouraged to have something like Rivergen, which helps to detox the feeds that they are using. No, they've not been able to use the artificial feeds that we are using. They've always been in the incubator, feeding on themselves there. Right now, they need to come to the wild and feed on the animal feeds that are manufactured. And that's the reason why we need to have the detox, the antibiotic, the liquid paraffin, and antibiotic with at least some energizer like vitamin. Those will help the chicks to grow. This process takes place probably within 2 weeks. That's the time you'll be able to change and be able to give them plain water. You'll be able to, like for instance, the chicks that we have in here. These are 1 week old. The number was small. It was used on a smaller incubator to make sure that the incubator is still in operation after so long. We got 100%, but the same day, half of the chicks were already sold. This is the feeding tray that we normally use, and these are the drinkers that we use. It's also important to make sure that lighting, the heat is enough for them to be able to survive in this environment. When they were in the incubator, the heat was generally good, but now from this other angle, they need to experience a different environment. This is the reason why you see they are able to feed on themselves, as you may see. This is the tray. And sooner or later, the new chicks have already discovered that there is maybe feed on the ground. As you may see, they are already enjoying the environment. They are fresh, they are healthy. And thanks to using the right incubator for the purpose of hatching chicks.
You have seen, I had told you that direct from the incubator, we shall proceed to this particular point. This is a brooding point of Mr. Ken, and you have seen it by yourself, that we've been able to count one by one, and we've realized up to 295 chicks, and he has clearly indicated, he has clearly told you that he does this hatching in phases. and I think he's a good student because that is how I recommended, and that's how I advised him. It's good to put or to incubate your eggs in phases depending on your market chain. In this case, he had incubated about 300 eggs, and you can see it's quite encouraging that he has realized a total of 295 chicks. This is really encouraging, and I really encourage even my viewers outside there, locally and internationally. For one, as I told you, it's good to have a quality machine. It's good to have a machine that will meet your expectation. Now, what happens between me and Mr. Ken is that the moment he hatch, just like this, we connect together with him. In as much as maybe I can have a client who is in need of these chicks, I just call him, Mr. Ken, where are you? Do you have chicks? This amount, this age. Immediately, if he has one, then I connect him with the client, and that's how we have managed to assist Bwana Ken.
So, Bwana Ken, which breed is this?
This is a Sasso breed. Sasso is resistant to diseases. Sasso also grows very fast.
Yeah.
And for those people who fear that the feeding will be too much,
yeah,
at least Sasso, out of the experience, we are able to feed them in a moderate rate. I mean, in other words, they are more economical when it comes to feeding. It's a quality bird,
yeah,
and once it grows, the hen will range between 2.5 to 3 kilos, while the cock will go up to a maximum of even 4 kilos. The market for jogos and all those cocks are plenty in the market. Actually, sometimes we run even out of the market.
Yeah.
But we as farmers or hatchers, we also feel we also need to have our own eggs.
Yeah.
And that's why, besides selling the day-old chicks, we are encouraged also to keep part of what we have had as part of us. At the end of the day, you are able even to make money by selling eggs. I don't need to go and source eggs outside.
Yeah.
I will have my own. And this is the reason why this project is encouraging. It's interesting.
Yeah.
It's even fun to do.
Yeah.
Actually, sometimes you don't even feel like leaving the home. You just feel like being with the
birds.
birds.
It looks very good and very satisfying.
Yes.
And also, maybe you can tell us the next step after here.
Now, the biggest step from here,
yes,
they need to be given Malek vaccine, which is very, very important.
Yeah.
Those are the steps that some farmers tend to skip.
Yeah.
Malek will be the first step. From Malek,
yes,
you need to give Gumboro. The first, you have to introduce Gumboro, the first one.
Yeah.
Gumboro comes with the number of chicks that you have. So if you go to the shop, you'll be able to be asked, is it 100 birds, 200 birds?
Yeah.
That one, it's very important to give. You dilute it in the water.
Yeah.
But before, so that they may be able to consume the water, it's always good to make them thirsty.
Yeah.
That way, because Nguburo, you have to give it within 1 hour or maximum 1.5 hours.
Yeah.
After that, it's just plain water.
Yeah, it loses the viability.
Exactly. And then the next thing, after 1 more week, that's the second week, you need to repeat Gumburo. At that stage, they are able to consume more water than they are doing right now.
Yeah.
The last step, which will be the third week, you give Newcastle.
Yes.
There's an interesting part I usually do about Newcastle, and that's why I always feel encouraged about the birds. Newcastle, I have bigger birds that I'm having. So whenever I buy the vaccine for Newcastle, I tend to buy a bigger dosage, such that I'll give this one and this one, because at the end of the day, it's not that harmful.
Yeah.
Even if you give it monthly. The reason why sometimes we don't give it is because it's expensive. But if you buy the dose, if you buy a dose of 500, it will cost you about 600. If you buy a dose of 1,000, it will cost you 700. Why not go for the bigger one and vaccinate all the birds? And that way you are always assured that the birds are safe. So these ones, they have a long way to go, but there are stages whereby a customer comes and takes. But before the customer takes, one thing we caution is that we have to give Malek. Malek is the first step that has to be done. We don't want the customer to go and start complaining that birds are having problems, they are not able to feed, they are dying. To avoid that, you give him something which you are sure of. And it's also encouraging that for those people who have already booked day old, we always tell them, don't take that very day that I've had. Give it at least 3 days. It doesn't add any cost because these birds will not have eaten so much. So it is encouraging that you take a 3-day-old, and when you take it, you are assured of the Malek, you have been already assured of the first Gumboro, and the bird is healthy.
Amazing, amazing.
Yes.
And as a farmer who does incubation, what is the biggest problem or the issue that you hear with other farmers who do incubation? So maybe some of the issues that affect the incubation process, maybe.
The biggest challenge that I have noted, and I've talked to several farmers that are doing this kind of work, the biggest challenge they normally do is that they avoid fumigating the area. The foot bath that is supposed to be used is very important. And we also have another problem. They have visitors and they get excited to come and show them where their project is. The diseases from the birds come through the clothes. They come through the foot. So it's good to avoid, this is a no-go zone area. As long as you're doing this, avoid too much visitors in this area. So we have to be sure of nobody comes in and avoid even birds flowing inside. I know even we have cats around. So you must make sure that the doors are locked and they are safe. So the incubation area is a no-go zone area. And that's why some farmers tend to fail, because they even go inside to try and reach something that is inside, or maybe
inside the brooder.
Inside the brooder. Avoid stepping there, because this is where these birds keep on pecking the ground, and that's where the danger comes in.
I see that's why you have made it in a way that you can be able to reach it.
Exactly.
At all points.
You can reach at any given point, and at the same time, avoid putting corners. Corners are more dangerous because these birds tend to go and sleep there. But when the circular board is there, they are free to move along. As you may have seen, it's only a few minutes that they came out from the brooder, from the incubator. And now they're already acquainted to the area that they are feeding on. The second challenge that is also a key in this project is whereby farmers go to buy cheap incubators. Some incubators are manufactured in a compromised way.
They are substandard.
They are substandard. But if you buy the right machine, you are assured the temperature regulation will never change. I have noted a friend of mine who had a machine, just went, and because he had seen what I have post, and he discovered it is working the very first day. But with the moment they removed the chicks, most of them are incomplete because the temperatures inside were failing. Some were dropping, sometimes they would go very high. So there was no regulation in terms of the temperature that is, because we need 37.8. Humidity should be between 60 and 65. But you find that they don't realize sometimes the temperature goes even to 39 and it sticks there. Sometimes they even forget that you need to put the water that is supposed to be put inside for humidity purpose. Those are the reasons why machines fail. It's good to, like the ones I bought from Robert, I have never even repaired. I've been using, this is the second year I've been running this project. Without fail, without any mechanical problem, without any electrical failures, just cleaning it, making sure that it's fumigated after use, so that the bacteria that are growing there may not affect the chicks that are coming out.
Amazing, amazing. So guys, as you have heard, you have seen for yourself out of 300 eggs, Bwana Ken have been able to get 295 chicks from that machine. So make sure if you want a good incubator, come to Robert. We are going to give his contact in the screen below. Contact him and go get a good machine. Bwana Ken, there's something you had mentioned also about another challenge about the quality of eggs.
Yes.
That affects this industry of...
Yes, normally when the hen is at the stage of hatching, most of the farmers tend to forget fumigating the room, and especially the area that the eggs are being laid. That's a very big contributing factor of chicks coming out. Beside the machine having a faulty problem or substandard machine, you end up finding that the farmers does not remember that either weekly or after every fortnight you need to fumigate the place. It's also encouraging that instead of using the same disinfectant, try and do alternation so that this one may not be overused for so long. And you'll never experience the incomplete chicks. You'll find that some people will put nice eggs inside. But at the end result, the chicks will come out with intestine which are outside. Some shells are not even coming out completely. Those are the areas that one needs to be. Hygiene is very important. Quality machine and hygiene. Those are the key factors. They're the fueling factor to this project. And as you may see, there's a lot of benefits when you are able to keep eggs. There are no losses. Percent-wise, you'll find that is about over 90%. And it's an achievement.
It's an achievement.
Yes, exactly.
And what can you say about the quality of the eggs that you now put in the incubator? You know, how do you go your process to make sure that you have done the candling, okay? There are no cracks in those eggs. They are well fertilized. Maybe you can take us through about that part of quality before you put them in the incubator to get the chicks.
Yes. You know, the first thing you need to do is that make sure that the place that the eggs are being laid, there's no way the egg will hit the ground or the wooden place that your hen is laying. So the moment you harvest the eggs, the first thing you do is sorting them out. There are eggs which are quite too big. Those ones could be twins. And in rare cases, you'll never find an egg hatching in that format. The other ones are some which are very tiny. Those ones you still also eliminate. You need to have a standard egg that is able to fit in the tray that goes inside there. At the same time, the candling helps a lot so that you may be able to see the cracks and the scratches that are there. The other thing you need to avoid is putting eggs which are very dirty. At the end of the day, they also affect because bacteria still grows inside. So eliminate all those. So at the end of the day, even if you are able to get 10 trays, you will not fail to get about an egg that is there. But if you feel like you want to put all the eggs in the machine, you will get negative results. And that's where the percentage keep on varying. Mine will be higher because I've been able to sort the other eggs. There are those people who come to buy eggs which are for eating. Sell those ones. The ones which are perfect, use them for the machine, and you'll get a positive result.
How many days should an egg stay for it to be used for incubation?
We always prefer a maximum of 7 days. It's encouraging. At the same time, it's also discouraging to use an egg that has been hatched immediately. Just collect the egg, let them settle.
The one that has been laid
immediately. We prefer it to be set at least a day or two. That will give you the best result. Let it not go beyond 7 days because of fertility. Sometimes others goes up to 10 days. There is chances of hatching, but that is taking chances. So it's always encouraging a maximum of 7 days and 3 to 7 days. Don't use the very fresh eggs. If you ever notice those people who do boiled egg in town, they will never use fresh eggs because they never peel. The egg is not set. It's more of a liquid. But when you leave it, give it time, it forms and sets. And that's able to put in the machine. Since we have a two machine, that with the 528 and the other one, you can even be able to set in that, use the trays for the other machine to make the eggs set. Once you are ready, that's when you put the tray. They fit the same way. Yes.
What about the guys who wash eggs before you?
No.
Put
It's
them
not
in
encouraging eggs.
I've even seen that on TikTok.
I've never bought that idea. Never wash eggs. Eggs are supposed to be naturally as they are. Eggs shells have some pores which are breathers. And by the way, eggs are not just put anyhow. There is a direction. The narrow side is supposed to face down because above there is an area that has a membrane which has air for circulation. So it's always good to note the method of putting the tray. Never wash your eggs. Some I've also seen them fumigating them. But then you're contaminating the eggs. Those pores, the water that sticks there may be able to have a chance to go inside. So you've already messed the chicks. And that's why you have this disabled chicks, I would call them. That's why it's avoid washing eggs. And that's why I was saying, where the hen is laying eggs, maintain hygiene. Try and keep the place clean. If you find they are messing the place, change those the sodas or whatever you're using and put fresh ones. And every week it's recommendable to fumigate the place. But don't fumigate the egg directly. Just collect the eggs and fumigate the place. That will help the chicks to come out perfect and healthy.
Wow, amazing. Farmers, you can hear what Bwana Ken is saying. He's very experienced in this industry, and you can see the rates at which he's getting when it comes to hatching. And maybe I would like something, Bwana Ken, you can tell them, maybe someone who'd want to order chicks, how do you go about it? Do you do delivery? Where can they get you? And all that.
It's very possible to supply within the local vicinity. Actually, the capacity we are having, we have not been able even to go very far because the demand has been high. We are just located at Landes Katundu, and the major stage that we drop is called Mountain View. It's along Thika Garissa Road. Delivery is very, very possible. Any number of chicks that you need, we are able to deliver. We are able even to give you day old, 1 week old, 2 weeks old. The age is not a problem. Some even prefer that we keep them up to 2 months, and they'll be able to take them when they are out of this inconvenience or danger. Because this one, they always say it's very dangerous to have the day old because of the method of bringing them up. We call ourselves essential farm produce because I find this is very essential. And that's why we have named our farm as Essential Farm Produce. If you want to reach me on phone, it's 0796 451 955. 0796 451 955. Or my email address is info.remedyfarmer@gmail.com. My phone number, you can reach me on WhatsApp anytime. I'll be able to respond to you or even assist you if you have a similar project.
Bwana Ken, let us now get at the juicy part of every business.
Yes.
Maybe you can take us through the expenditure side of the business a little bit and the profit side.
All right. One thing, an egg costs around 20 shilling. The power usage in the incubator will cost a similar amount, between 20 and 25 shilling. In reality, because of other overheads, we call it about 30 shilling. So to hatch a chick, it costs you 50 bob. But to sell a day-old chick, you'll sell it at 110 or 100 shilling at the lowest. In other words, your margin is 100%. For the grown chicks, if you are able to make it up to the 50th month, the cost implication is about 800 shilling. The market selling price for one hen or one jogo will go up to 1,500 shilling. There are some which grows even bigger, and you're able to fetch even up to 1,800 shilling. So you can see at any given time, you are able to make 100%. So it's a project that I would encourage many, and especially people who say there's hakuna kazi. There's a lot to be done. You'll be able to get this one, feed them nicely, take care of them. These are like babies. You keep on checking on them now and then, and to make sure that the environment is clean. But at the end of the day, you will never fail in this project. 100% is the yield part of it. Because if you spend 50 shilling and get 100, if you've already gotten 50 shilling more. So the number of production excites you. If you're able to do 1,000 of them, you already have 50,000. That's a complete salary. Yes, at your comfort zone. Yes.
What is your advice to someone who would want to get into this business?
There's one big challenge. The biggest challenge is when you start this project and you're not prepared on feed. That is the biggest drawback that will kill you. The moment these are there and the moment they feel you, because even these animals, these birds, they feel the owner. They always make a lot of noise that they need to feed on. You may have seen even cows. If you go to farmers who have cows, the moment you walk in, you start making noise. This is the same thing. So if you fail to feed them the right quality of food and quantity enough, and especially at this stage, there is no gauge that you're supposed to say. Sometimes they always say it's supposed to consume 10 grams per day. Don't go to limitation. That's the time you'll underfeed this bird, and that's what people do. They take a weighing scale and say that today, I know it's supposed to take 5 kilos, yet by 10 o'clock, they've already consumed everything. This is like children. They feed continuously. Let them grow. Maybe after 2 months, that's when you'll be able to regulate the amount of feed that you're giving. And those are the challenges that people do. You find somebody has started with maybe even about 500 of them. And because he was not prepared, inafika somewhere down the line that the feeds are over, you take half of the share, sell it, and by the way, that time, because you are desperate, you'll sell at a throwaway price so that you may be able to buy feeds. Feeds, it's good to plan. It's good to know that I need a certain number of bags, and this is a budget. You just set aside the full package. And until the day they start laying and you see the first eggs, that's when you'll realize that now you are in the recovery process. For the next 5-6 months, you will have to be dipping in your pocket. And that's what the mistake that people do. They start the project unprepared, or because they had seen somebody doing it. Do it as a passion, yes, but at the same time, plan well. Feeds is what will drive you crazy. If you don't have enough feed, the end result will be zero. You'll end up even going to the leftovers. And you see, they need to eat quality for now. Once they are big, then there's no problem. It's also good to give them greens. The biggest other challenge when you start talking of giving nyasi and whatever is when you find nyasi outside. It's already contaminated. Once you bring it inside, you're messing up. Try and contain it within your environment. Even if they're able to be free range in a way, let them eat from your compound, not from outside. Yes.
Amazing. So farmers, you have heard for yourself. Passion is good, but you must plan for you to be profitable in this business. But again, I see you have another section here.
Yes. This is another lot equivalent to the same one you had seen. These are exactly two weeks old and 2 days. no mortality rate, the growth is good, the feeding is perfect, and when you see them running up and down, it tells you that the quality of the chick is perfect. They've already consumed mallet, they've already consumed the first and the second gumburo. Next week we shall be giving them Newcastle, and we trust that the health, as healthy as they look, they'll continue the same way.
Guys, then you can see water is very clean.
You maintain clean water.
The feeds.
Actually, you keep on changing it. Once you see it is messed up, you keep on making sure that the quality of water is clean. Otherwise, the more they consume and the contaminated ground thing, they will always mess up their digestion. Yes.
Now these ones are ready for sale.
These ones are ready for sale. Already somebody has booked all of them. But the fact remains that the customer wants them when they are 1 month old. We have no problem. The prices differ. One day price is different from 2 weeks, 1 week, 3 weeks. It goes like that. Yes.
And this is the same breed.
This is the same breed. We specialize in Sasso, and because we trust, we've never encountered problem with this one. Mortality has never been a big problem. Of course, you can't fail to get 1 or 2, but right now, for this particular batch, I've not faced any problem with this.
Amazing.
Yes.
Guys, you have heard. Here are the chicks, very high quality. Come and get yours.
Anytime, contact me.
Amazing.